Y'all, this week I did not have time to go to that grocery store at all, but I still managed to put 7 home cooked meals on the dinner table for my family of 5. Now, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. I do have a lot going on in my life right now, and I did not have a chance to go to that grocery store. And if you want to know what's going on in my life, I will talk about it in the next video, so stay tuned for that. But this week, you'll see how I transform leftovers and tweaked a few recipes that were missing a few key ingredients. If you take nothing else away from watching this video, I want you to know that you can still feed your family delicious meals using food that you already have at home. Let me show you how I fed my family of 5 7 home cooked meals. Sunday dinner at my house was one of those simple but soul-filling meals. Baked leg quarters fresh out of the oven, some red beans and rice, and some sweet corn on the side. Now, y'all already know the secret to flavorful baked chicken isn't just throwing it in the oven. It's all about that seasoning. Now, I pulled out a handful of my go-to spices, but let me tell you, you do not have to have a spice cabinet full of spices to make this work. If all you've got is some good old salt and pepper, your chicken is still going to come out delicious. Now, when I first started cooking, I didn't have half of these seasonings. I built my spice drawer little by little, one jar at a time. And as my skills grew, so did my spice drawer. That's the beauty of cooking. It doesn't matter where you start, it matters that you just start. And before you know it, you will look back and see how much you've grown. I went ahead and sprinkled some seasoning under the skin, and now I'm sprinkling the rest on top. That way every bite has flavor, not just the skin, but the meat underneath too. Now, once they're all seasoned up, these leg quarters are headed into a 400-degree oven for about an hour. And here's my secret, y'all. When they come out of the oven, I drizzle some melted butter over each one because, let's be honest, chicken is good, but chicken with butter, that's comfort food on a whole different level. And this is how they look all plated up. Sin City wasn't made for you. So for one of the sides, I decided to go with red beans and rice. Now, usually that's a whole meal by itself, but this time it was just a side. I had actually planned on making stuffing and sweet potatoes, you know, my usual go-tos for Sunday dinner. But when I realized I was out, I went digging in the pantry, and that's when I spotted a container of rice and a couple cans of red beans. And I thought, why not? Now, I'll be honest with y'all, what I really forgot was that good old cornbread, because let's be real, red beans and rice just hit different when you've got a slice of cornbread on the side. Now, here's where things got a little interesting. Normally I use 4 cans of beans when I make red beans and rice, but this time I only had 2, and I still needed to stretch it to feed 5 people. But y'all already know I'm going to make it work somehow. Like I mentioned earlier, this week is about making do with what's already in the pantry and fridge. If it wasn't here at the house, I was not running out to buy it. We're just going to roll with what we've got, sit down at the dinner table, and be grateful. Because at the end of the day, it's not about having everything perfect. It's about making a meal that feeds your family. And that's exactly what this video is about. Y'all, Mondays in my house are always a little hectic, so I kept dinner simple with homemade chicken sandwiches and fries. Now, to get started, I put the chicken in a freezer bag with a half cup of pickle juice and a 1/4 cup of water. Then I'm going to let it sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Now, the pickle juice helps tenderize the chicken and gives it that tangy flavor, kind of like what you get from most fast food restaurants. Now, once the chicken was done marinating, I went ahead and heated up my oil and started working on the breading. Now here's what I used: a half teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, a half teaspoon of chili powder, a half teaspoon of smoked paprika, 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And let me tell you, having everything pre-measured is the real game changer here, y'all. If you don't do anything else, do this. It keeps you from having to run all over the kitchen grabbing spices, and it's the best way to make sure you don't forget an ingredient. Now, once my dry station was ready, I set up my wet station with 1 egg and a half cup of milk. Now, if you like your chicken spicy, this is where you can add a little hot sauce to the wet mixture and some cayenne pepper to the dry. But since my family doesn't do spicy, we left that part out and kept it simple. Now, here's where everything starts to come together. I'm taking this chicken straight out of that pickle juice marinade. It's already packed with flavor, and I'm dropping it right into the egg and milk mixture. From there, we're giving it a nice coat in the seasoned flour. Now, if you want your chicken extra crispy, and let's be honest, who doesn't? This is where you double dip. That means once it's coated in flour, you dip it back into the egg mixture and then one more time in the flour. That double layer gives you that crunchy golden crust that everybody loves. And you'll notice that I'm pressing the chicken down into the flour instead of just tossing it around. That's on purpose. I want all of those little cracks and crevices to grab onto the flour so the crust sticks beautifully, y'all. You don't want any bare spots on this chicken. Every single bite needs to have that crunch before it even hits the hot oil. Now these are going to go into the hot oil until they are nice and golden brown like this. Look at how juicy and crispy that is. That's all that pickle juice marinade, y'all. So now I'm just going to fry up the remaining chicken slices, and then I'm going to butter my bread, heat it up, and put these sandwiches together. Sin City was a maybe. Normally, Tuesday nights around here mean tacos. That's just kind of our thing. But this week, nope. I slid in the pantry, looked around, and found this bag of pinto beans sitting all the way in the back right next to the lentils. Now, y'all know how things get pushed to the back and you almost forget you even bought them. That was these beans. And I thought to myself and said, okay, pinto beans and rice it is. And you want to know the funny part? I still had a small container of rice left over from Sunday. Not enough to feed my whole family by itself. But when you add beans, you've got a whole new meal. And y'all know me, I'm not about to let anything go to waste if I can help it. Plus, beans and rice are so cheap, filling, and they are packed with fiber. Usually I like to cook beans and chicken stock because it adds that extra layer of flavor, but today I didn't have any on hand, so instead we're just going to use plain old water. For the seasonings, I'm keeping it flavorful but simple. 1.5 tablespoons of cumin, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon and a half of chicken bouillon. That's it. Now, normally I'd also throw in a yellow onion for some sweetness and depth, but today my pantry was a little bare. So to make up for that, I added some tomato sauce, and this is how it turned out. Sin City was a maybe. We finally made it to hump day, y'all, and tonight we're doing barbecue chicken. Now, Wednesdays have kind of become our midweek soul food Sunday. I think it all started back in the day when Survivor used to air on Wednesdays. That was our version of Netflix and chill, a time for me and my husband to kick back and just enjoy each other. Eventually, Survivor moved to Thursdays, but then my 600-pound life took over Wednesdays, and somehow it became this tradition to go all out with dinner while watching that show. But I'll never forget when Dr. Now would start fussing at his patients, we'd slowly push our dessert aside because it was almost like he was fussing at us through that TV. It's crazy, I know, but those Wednesday dinners became about more than just food. They were a little midweek tradition for us. Now, we don't have a special day of the week currently. We just find a good crime show like The First 48 or Snapped, and then we'll just eat dinner together watching something like that. I've got my barbecue rub ready, and now it's time to season each leg. I'm making sure to get under the skin as well as on top, so every bite is packed with flavor. Now I'll link the rub down in the description box in case you want to make this at home too. You know, one of the things I love about cooking on a budget is how creative it makes you. I remember one week my grocery budget was tighter than usual, and I just had to figure out how to stretch a few chicken legs into 3 meals for my family. I got creative with those spices, the sauces, and by the end of the week, we had a full spread that looked like I spent twice the money, and it was better than a fast food restaurant. Now, moments like that remind me, and I hope it reminds you too, that you don't need to spend a fortune to make a meal that feels special. It's all about using what you have and thinking a little outside of the box and putting love into the process. So as I add barbecue sauce to this chicken, I'm thinking about how easy it is to take simple ingredients, a few pantry staples, and turn them into something comforting, delicious, and satisfying for my family, even on a tight budget. That's what this video is all about, helping you make the most of what you have without feeling like you're missing out.
Ignore that didn't happen. Anyways, we got some food here for you. And well, for you, I mean for me, I'm just going to taste test it. If I could, I would hand y'all some food through the screen, you know, just... Anywho, I just wanted to say what we're eating today. And what we're eating today is I'm going to step a few inches closer, get a little look at that. We got some... barbecue chicken, some broccoli. There's a little seasoning on the barbecue chicken if you can see it there. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, a little stink thing there. Just gotta do the woo. Yeah. Anywho, got some what beans are these? They look a little different. Okay, Bush's baked beans. And of course, we got some sweet corn. Of course, this wouldn't be perfect without some. Oh, no, I didn't see that there, but actually I did. I did trust. There's broccoli there, and if y'all don't know something about me, I like me some broccoli. That sounded like it rhymed for something, but I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, yes, that is the meal today. That is the meal today. This is what we will be tasting on this fine evening. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man, I was starving. Sit down, we got a little story. Commercial break me, please. I was upstairs, kinda just chilling, you know, doing me, playing my video games, doing on my phone, teenage stuff. And I smelled this absolutely wonderful meal, heaven sent, if you will. I think it was more of the barbecue chicken. It was calling me. I was sitting there with a mighty heavy stomach, y'all. My stomach was singing the Bayou Blues. That was that was one sad stomach. But now we got that sweet jazz, cause we got this now. We got this to eat, and that's really all I have to say. I think I've said all I needed to say. Let's actually eat this instead of me rambling. I was trying to stall because it actually did feel hot, and the last time I ate some hot food, my tongue didn't like that very much. No, not one bit. I think my taste buds got singed, bro. Yeah, no, it wasn't pleasant. We're going to start with, there's a lot of healthy things on this little palette here, so we're just going to start with the corn, because I feel like I have a feeling what this is going to taste like. It'll probably taste relatively like sweet corn. Let me see. Mom, you just love one up for me, huh? Mm-hmm. Like you just...
all the time.
I said it was going to taste the same, and you mess around and make it taste different, and I gotta sit here and wonder what you did to it. I was thinking, oh, sweet corn is probably gonna taste exactly like sweet corn, and no, it doesn't. It does taste like sweet corn, don't get me wrong. It's tasty, and it's something different was good about it, and I love it, because it's, did you put something different on it, or just like...
Same recipe.
Same recipe. I can't put a finger on it, so, it's good, The beans now. The beans now. Yeah, let's get on to the beans. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually very good. Beans. Now that tasted the same. Chicken, you looking mighty good.
Do we sample some broccoli?
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli. Oh, that's what's. The chicken is looking good, but I can't get to you without the broccoli. It's like standing in the way. It's also fighting back. Get there. Y'all can't see it, but I am genuinely trying to. I got it.
Barbecue broccoli.
It sure tastes like it too. Hang on. Hang on now. Hold it now. Oh, that's barbecue broccoli, all right. Definitely. Great. Reminds me of VeggieTales. Delicious! Now for the star of the show, the chicken, the one I've been wanting to eat for a good while. I'm not trying to purposely, but I was poking it just now. But this was for comedic effect. We're making that compilation. Rev up them fries, that thing is good. Oh, that's delicious. Hang on, I gotta, no, screw this, I gotta put the fork down. Hang on, I gotta. Don't you fall off, don't you fall off. I'm gonna be. Thousand years later, we're done chewing. Okay. I'm sorry, viewers, I'm sorry, but that was some pretty goddamn good chicken. Y'all ain't had chicken since I had this chicken. Let me tell you. That's a whole lot of chicken in one word, but the chicken is chicken, and the chicken is chicken, and the chicken is chicken. Chicken is great. Love it. Okay. Let's start off the show with the greatest food, I think, on this plate right here, this fine mighty plate. I think I like the chicken the most. But if I were to have a second competitor that would beat the chicken or come close to its taste, the broccoli was absolutely immaculate. I think I like the... Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, broccoli. Broccoli indeed. Yes. Yes, that is that broccoli right there. And then the sweet beans and quarter, just they're delicious. They're great. This is like, this food is a bite to the cookout. That's what this food is. You ever make a barbecue? I should see though. Maybe we have also barbecue. But we should definitely get this on here too. You know, take this to the cookout. Which reminds me, have we ever tried ribs? Like, did we ever record ribs for this? Excuse me, for these fine people.
I don't know if you reviewed the ribs, but I've cooked them before.
Viewers, do me a favor, please. Remind me what I have and have not tasted. Testing, cause you know, me being a little clumsy goldfish, I do not, unless it was very specific. I only remember my most favorite things. Anything that was small, or maybe, I'm trying to think of an example of what would slip my mind. Maybe the Brussels sprouts. I mean, those were good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I prefer them uncooked than cooked.
Oh, I think they want to see you eat spinach.
Spinach?
Yeah, I think they want to see you eat a pot of spinach.
Y'all, don't y'all dare try me a pot of spinach.
Comment down below if y'all
No, do not do that. Do not comment down below and ask me for a bowl of spinach. No, I refuse. But I guess if y'all want to. If you guys want to, comment down below and say, should I eat a bowl of spinach? Because y'all probably wonder why that's a problem. I hate spinach. Just as much as I used to hate Brussels sprouts. Then I tried it and it was actually pretty good. So now I don't hate it as much. Spinach, I don't think I'm budging on that one. No, spinach is a for sure fire. I do not like, no. But for comedic purposes and also just to give, give y'all guys another video. We can happily make it happen of me eating a bowl of spinach. Yeah. Yes. I'm afraid I strayed far from the topic. Where was I? Oh, yes. The ratings. Yes, the ratings. This is good. I'm gonna give it a solid, I'm gonna give it a good even 40,000 out of 10. That's what I'm feeling, 40,000 out of 10. It's all rounded good. Vegetables good. That's the review. That is the review. I say, I begin anew. That is great. Fine dining, I would recommend. 10 out of 10 would recommend, but you already heard the view and it was 40,000. Yeah, yada. Yappity yap. All right, viewers, that is George's Reviews. Y'all know what to do. I don't gotta say it. I don't gotta say it. Yes, I'm talking to you. Do it! Anyways, I'm feeling kind of hungry. Your boy am I, the stomach is starving, stumbling. I gotta get something to eat. I got it right here, so I got a piece. So all that being said, thank you for watching episode George's Reviews. Wherever you are, how far, what day, what time. Have a good night, day, blessed day. Big Bang Attack. I'll catch y'all in the next one.
I had to be really strategic about Thursday's dinner. I was heading out of town on Saturday, and I still wanted my family to have a home-cooked meal while I was gone. Plus, Jordan had to work, and I knew I wanted him to be well fed before heading off. That's when I decided on a pasta dish like baked ziti. Now, pasta is perfect for times like this because it stretches easily and can feed the family for more than one meal without losing its flavor. Now, one of my favorite tricks for stretching meals is to think ahead about how I can turn one dinner into two or even three. For example, a pan of baked ziti can be portioned out for lunches the next day or even frozen for later in the week, which is what I ended up doing. I've also done this with casseroles, soups, and stir fries, making slightly larger portions so I don't have to cook from scratch every single night. It's not just a money saver, it's a time saver too. Even when life gets busy or you're short on hours in the kitchen, you can still serve your family warm, comforting meals without all of the stress. And that's the beauty of planning ahead and thinking about how to get the most out of what you already have in your kitchen. Normally, I like to use 3 jars of pasta sauce when I'm making baked ziti, but today I thought I only had 1, so I got really creative with that 1 jar. I added a little water, shook it up, and used every last bit of that jar. And sometimes you just have to make do with what you've got, and that's okay. But even after that, it still wasn't enough, and I searched all over my kitchen and finally looked in the upper cabinet and found another jar. That jar saved the day because listen, this pasta was going to taste some kind of way if I had to stretch that 1 jar for this whole pan. Sin City wasn't made for you. Fridays used to be our fast food day, but this week I thought, why spend money when there's food right here at home? I pulled a roll of meat out of the freezer, grabbed some buns that were starting to get a little stale, and found some bacon in the fridge. So tonight we're doing burgers, jalapeno and bacon for my husband, and a couple of classic cheeseburgers for everybody else. Now my daughter doesn't eat beef, so she'll probably have some ramen, and that's totally fine with me because y'all already know how I feel about forcing kids to eat foods that they do not like. That's a big no-no in this house. I like to let her explore and make her own choices. Now, sometimes she'll eat what the rest of us are having, and sometimes she won't, and that's okay. She's learning to listen to her body and her taste buds, and honestly, it makes me feel like I'm teaching her more than just how to eat. I'm teaching her that her preferences matter, that her voice matters, and that mealtime doesn't have to be a battlefield. And the crazy thing, When kids are not forced, they often end up trying the foods on their own terms. And here's a tip if you have a picky eater. When they are not forced to eat something, they often end up trying new foods on their own terms. I've seen my daughter pick up a piece of bread a couple of weeks ago. That's something that she doesn't eat. She does not like bread. She picked up a piece of bread, took a tiny bite, and she actually enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as she thought it was. But that moment of choice, of empowerment, is worth way more than any argument over a plate of beef. So tonight, she's having ramen, and we're still sitting down together, enjoying our own meals, laughing, and making memories in the process. Because that's what feeding your family is really about. Not control, but care, love, and respect. Y'all, these burgers are about to be so good. Now I'm going to reanimate these hamburger buns because they were looking like they were about to be a little stale. So I'm just going to bring them back to life with some butter and some heat.
Sin City wasn't made for you.
While I was out of town, my family ate baked ziti. So Saturday was all about leftovers. That's how I was able to feed my family of 5 for 1 week without having to make a grocery run. And I hope this video reminds you that you can still feed your family well even when you are on a tight budget. Get creative and get in the kitchen. Use ingredients that you already have on hand. If this video was helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a part of the family, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and become a part of the family. I talk about budget meals, budget cooking, budget everything, saving money. That's what you will get on this channel. So if that's something that you are interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below. What are some ways that you stretch your budget to keep you from having to go to the grocery store? You never know, I might feature it in a future video. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will chit chat with you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.